When did protecting someone destroy your life? I destroyed my sister's career in front of 50 executives, but that wasn't even the worst part. Everyone said I should be thrilled for Julia. After years of struggling as a single mom, she finally landed her dream job at a tech company, and her new boss, Steven, seemed perfect, successful, charming, always bringing coffee for the team. I just wasn't used to seeing her this confident again, but nobody knew what I'd been noticing during family dinners. Steven treated me like I was invisible, even though I'm 22 and work in their IT department. He'd make comments about how some people aren't cut out for the tech world, always while looking directly at me. But I stayed quiet because Julia was glowing, talking about promotions and stock options for the first time in her life. So I fixed their laptops, set up their presentations, and even helped Julia pick out outfits for client meetings like a supportive sister. But something about Steven always felt predatory. 3 days before the big promotion ceremony where Julia would become VP, I was working late in his office fixing a server issue. His phone kept buzzing on the desk, and when I glanced over, I saw messages from someone named Intern Liz. I should have looked away, but I didn't. I wanted to believe it was innocent work communication, but the preview showed enough to make me sick. Can't wait to see you in that tight dress again tomorrow, one message read. Another, remember what we discussed about your performance review? Be a good girl, and it'll go smoothly. The most recent was even worse. Your internship depends on keeping our little meetings private. You know what happens to girls who can't follow simple instructions. The way he spoke to her wasn't just inappropriate. It was calculated manipulation, using his authority to corner someone who couldn't say no. I sat there frozen while Julia texted me excited updates about tomorrow's ceremony from the floor below. I said nothing that night or the next 2 days because how do you destroy someone's future? So I waited, printed everything I could access, and slipped it into a manila envelope. Then I walked into that boardroom, but everything was different, and I was the only one who knew. 3 weeks later, I was setting up the AV equipment for Steven's presentation on mentorship and leadership excellence. The irony wasn't lost on me. The entire executive team was there, along with department heads and several interns, including Liz, who sat in the back looking uncomfortable. Steven was getting an award for his outstanding guidance of junior staff. As he took the podium, talking about creating safe spaces for young professionals, I watched Liz shrink further into her seat. When he asked if anyone wanted to share their mentorship experiences, I knew I couldn't sit there while he received praise for the very behavior I'd witnessed. I stood up and walked to the front, handing the envelope directly to the CEO without saying a word. Steven's confident smile faltered as he recognized the paper spilling out. He lunged toward me, desperate to grab them before anyone else could see. I shoved him hard, and he crashed backward into the presentation screen, sending it crashing to the floor. In that silence, I saw Liz's face, a mix of relief and terror. Julia didn't ask what was happening. She immediately started apologizing to Steven, helping him up, asking if he was hurt. She looked at me with pure hatred and screamed that I'd ruined everything. Not, what did you find? Or, is this true? Just rage that I destroyed her moment. The CEO told security to escort me out, so I left. And somehow watching my sister choose him over me hurt more than losing my job. I slept on my friend's couch that night, phone turned off, wondering how protecting someone could feel this devastating. The next morning, I had 17 missed calls from Julia. Her voicemail was ice cold. She said the promotion was postponed, not canceled. Steven had explained everything. The messages were taken out of context. Liz was just seeking career advice, and I was jealous of Julia's success. But I knew what I'd seen, and I knew she did too. I didn't call back. I just started job hunting and tried to move forward. But our industry is small, and word travels fast. Everyone knew I was the one who sabotaged the promotion ceremony. No one cared why, just that I'd caused a scene. So I stopped networking, avoided industry events, and for months wondered if I'd destroyed both our careers over a misunderstanding. But then I got an email from Liz. It was brief, but changed everything. She said she'd been too scared to speak up before. But what I found wasn't career advice. It was harassment that had been escalating for months. She thanked me for being brave enough to act when she couldn't. I forwarded it to Julia, and she never responded. But 2 weeks later, I heard through a former colleague that Steven had quietly resigned, and Liz had been transferred to a different department with a promotion. I haven't spoken to Julia since. Not because I hate her, but because I don't know if she'll ever forgive me for choosing truth over her happiness. And honestly, I'm not sure I can forgive her for choosing him over me when it mattered most. Some days I wonder if I should have stayed quiet. But then I remember Liz's email, and I know I'd do it again.